Highlights of the 22nd GST Council Meeting, quarterly returns, composition scheme changes, and more. In this video, we bring you the key takeaways from the 22nd GST Council Meeting, chaired by Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. Discover the latest updates on GST return filing, composition scheme enhancements, postponed implementations, and significant GST rate changes. Stay informed about the developments that impact businesses and taxpayers. Quarterly returns for SMEs. Small and medium businesses with an annual turnover up to 1.5 crores can now file GST returns quarterly, starting from 1st October. This change aims to simplify compliance procedures for these businesses and reduce their reporting frequency. Advance receipts exemption. Businesses with an annual turnover up to 1.5 crores will not be required to pay GST on advance receipts received for goods. This exemption provides relief to SMEs by eliminating GST liability on advance payments. Composition scheme enhancements. A group of ministers will be formed to make the composition scheme more appealing to small and medium enterprises, SMEs. The aggregate turnover threshold for the composition scheme is increased to 1 crore rupees for most states, with 75 lakhs for special category states. Providers of exempt services can now opt for the composition scheme, expanding its applicability. Extended due date for GSTR 4. The due date for filing GSTR 4 returns for composition scheme dealers for the quarter of July to September 2017 is extended to 15th November 2017. This extension provides additional time for businesses to fulfill their compliance obligations. Interstate Service Provider Exemption. Service providers with an aggregate annual turnover of 20 lakhs are exempted from registration under the regular scheme. This exemption also applies to interstate service providers, easing the registration process for smaller service businesses. E-way bill implementation postponement. The implementation of e-way bill rules, initially set for December 2017, will now begin from 1st January 2018. The e-way bill provisions will be introduced gradually from January to April 2018, allowing businesses to adapt smoothly. TDS and TCS provisions implementation postponed. The implementation of tax deducted at source, TDS, and tax collected at source, TCS, provisions is deferred to 31st March 2018. This extension grants taxpayers more time to adjust to the new provisions. Suspension of reverse charge mechanism postponed. The suspension of the reverse charge mechanism is postponed until 31st March 2018, reducing compliance complexities. Exemption for goods transport agencies. Services provided by goods transport agencies to unregistered businesses are now exempt from GST. This exemption eases the burden on unregistered entities and simplifies their transactions. E-wallet for exporters. From April 2018, an e-wallet for exporters will be introduced, aiding credit accumulation. Merchant exporters will pay only 0.1% GST for domestic supplies used in exports, promoting export growth. GST rate changes. GST rate adjustments include a 35% rate on old leasing vehicles. Man-made yarns GST rate reduced from 18% to 12%. GST rate decreased from 12% to 5% for job work, printing, zari work, khakra, and unbranded Ayurvedic medicines. Conclusion. The decisions made in the 22nd GST Council meeting reflect the government's commitment to simplifying compliance, supporting SMEs, and fostering economic growth. These changes aim to make the GST framework more inclusive and business-friendly, benefiting taxpayers across various sectors. Stay tuned for more updates on India's evolving taxation landscape.